deep mind, you are not happy with your neighbors. Suddenly, your neighbor got such as, great news. Maybe your neighbor got a good job, or your neighbors, won $1 million lottery. How do you feel? Do you feel happy or you feel angry? Generally, when your neighbor, won such a good amount of money, or your neighbor got a good job, how do you feel? You feel happy? Yeah, because generally you are not happy with your neighbors. Suddenly your neighbor got a good job, then you feel very angry, right? Even though forget about your neighbors, within your family, you are not happy with one of your brother or sister or uncle or auntie or father, mother. You are not happy happy with one of them. Suddenly the person becomes very successful. Are you going to feel happy or are you going to get angry? You get angry, upset. When you feel angry that time means you are not acting according to Buddha teaching. You are not acting according to Bodhisattva was teaching. That moment, instead of getting angry, upset, you feel must rejoice. Because you wish them always be happy. Right? Therefore, here I shall respectfully accord my action. If from now on I make no effort, since we, follow Buddha teaching, since we practice bodhicitta, so we need to put a lot of effort to continuously practice the Bodhisattva path, continuously practice the Dharma, continuously control our negative thoughts, make sure our action, give a distance with the negative action. If you don't do this, what happens? I shall descend to lower and lower step. Right? For example, you are on the bridge. Your body is already heavy. You are in the bridge. The bridge going to be bent, right? Bent. When you got more extra luggage, you are receiving more stone in your bag. That means the bridge going to be bended. The one day what happened? The bridge going to be break. Right? Likewise, therefore, generally, according to Buddha teaching, everybody already have, lots of negative karma. Also, we have a positive karma. If you compare these two karmas, two action, surely we possess more lot negative karma than the positive. So after you generated bodhicitta, you are not acting according to Buddha teaching. You are not really practicing your daily life according to the Bodhisattva practice. That means you are accumulating lots of negative karma. Therefore, after we die, if we're going to born in lower realms, then it's become more worse and worse, worse and worse and worse, right? Lower realms, lower state. So next we chant stanza number 13. Although for the benefit of my every creature, countless Buddha had passed by. I wasn't an object for their care because of my own mistakes, right? Although for the benefit of every creature, countless Buddha had passed by. We forget about, the countless, many Buddhas already passed by. Think of Buddha Shakyamuni. He was born in India, Nepal, or you can say India. There's a lot of, disagreement, agreement. So somehow Buddha was born in, like Nepal. Then through his own practice, for six years, he became a Buddha. Then he gave, he taught all the teachings to benefit all sentient beings. That time wasn't there. We didn't have, the opportunity. Then after him, there are some, hundreds of thousands of, Indian master, Tibetan master, Chinese master, they, came on the earth. They also teach Dharma. Many sentient beings, many human beings become Bodhisattva, become Arhato, but we didn't have the chance. So I was not an object of their care. It doesn't mean they don't have a compassion, but we were not there. Because of my own mistake. This is very important advice for all the Buddhist people. For example, when we are not happy, when we have lots of problem around us, problem with your family, relatives, or co-worker, or neighbors, or physically you are very unhealthy, mentally you have a lot of disturbance, certainly what we do, we offer a light, we lit a light, offer to the Buddha, we offer a incense, we pray to Buddha, wish to have a happiness. This is a very big mistake. I'm not saying it's mistake because you are offering light. I'm not saying mistake because of your offering incense. Your understanding is wrong. Right? When you feel hungry, think about when you're seriously hungry, you offer a light, pray to Buddha, give me a food, give me a food. Is all the Buddhas going to give a food? No, right? No. Then you pray to the Buddha to having a good food, having a good coffee or drink, you pray for a few hours. When you look around, there's no food, there's no coffee, you are still more hungry. That time you need to think, no, I was mistaken. My understanding is wrong. When I'm hungry, I must cook, I must go buy food. You need to take action to get a food. Just praying cannot solve the problem. Therefore, when you have a problems, yes, you can do recitation, chanting, prayers. The most important what? You have to take action to free from the problems. If you don't take any action, just verbally, chanting or prayers, so whole life, you spend whole life with prayer and chanting, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to reach anywhere. We're going to be remain same. Then one day what happened? We have a kind of wrong understanding of the teaching, wrong understanding of the Buddha. Then they thought, I don't think there's a Buddha. I don't think there's a karma. I pray for many years. I'm having more problem, more suffering. Right? That means as a foundation from the beginning, we have a misunderstanding. Dharma is not about giving food for us. Dharma is not about giving money and job for us. Dharma is only about for controlling our negative thoughts. Dharma is only about for having inner peace and inner happiness. Therefore, what he said, because of my own mistake. Right? Also, we have a very common habit. Everybody have. For example, it's very common. You're walking on the roadside. This is very common when I go around in my evening walking. I have to be very careful who is coming in front of me. Many people telephone just coming direct on you. You don't skip. You have a kind of bumping each other. Then the person really should going to thought, oh, he bumped me, he pushed me, he was careless, right? We always blame other. We never think, oh, it's my mistake. I'm not, watching the road. I'm not looking behind. Right? In the supermarket, you can see people telephone, come on. We have to do like this, like this. So that time, what do you think? Like somebody, you bump somebody or somebody bump you, push you, somewhere. What do you think? Oh, this is my mistake. We should not blame others. Right? Then again, when we order food and drink, we sit on the chair, the table is not so stable, the table is shaky, then your coffee split. Again, we blame to the owner, your chair is no good, your table is no good, it spilled my coffee. If you are careful, there won't be any problem. So you should not think this is a problem of because. We should not think this is a problem because of dharma. Usually it's own because of my own mistakes. Right? The next we chant together 14. And if I continue to act like this again and again, shall undergo suffering, happiness, sickness, bondage, ligation, shedding of the blood. Right? Then I'm talking, based on the Buddha teaching, according to Buddhist tradition. Yes, generally there's a karma, no doubt. Simple example, you can experience by yourself. I can experience myself because of my karma, right? For example, last month my weight was 78 and 30 kilo, 70 and 30 kilo, right? Then why I become heavier than the last year? Why? Eat a lot of rice, like Indian meals, lot of curry, lot of rice. Then I become heavier. That become heavier. The heaviness is because of my action. Karma doesn't mean, the action. In the past 1 month, I eat a lot of food and become heavy. If I don't control my heaviness, then I have a BP, sugar, all problem. Right? That means you can see the problem coming from where? Karma, action. Yes, there's no doubt. Generally, there's a karma. But we have some misunderstanding. Whatever thing happened, we thought because my previous life karma. Right? Oh, in previous life, I accumulate a lot of negative karma. We never think our this life action. We never think yesterday, your action. So we should not think everything happening because of my previous life karmas. So if we don't, practice dharma purely according to Buddha teachings, then our life going to be more worse and more worse. Then one day we're going to born into the hell being. Then all the suffering, unhappiness, sickness, bondage, ligation, shedding of the blood is going to happen. Please chant 15. Read. If the arising of the Tathagata, fair attainment of the human body, and my being fit to the cultivate virtues are sacred, then will they be born again? Now also this is a very, practical and important advice for us. Yeah. The first line here, right? If the arising of Tathagata, this means Tathagata or Buddha is already around us. If the arising of the Tathagata, faith, attainment of the human body, and my being may being fit into the cultivated virtues are scary, when will they be born again? Exactly. We're not going to say, you don't have to say, oh, His Holiness Dalai Lama is a Buddha. If you believe, it's a good. If you say, also okay. And just, not only, His Dalai Lama, there are so many, qualified, excellent teachers are there, right? There. How many teaching we receive from them? How many times? Many, many times. Many hours, many days we receive teaching from them. Tathagata is there. Also, we have a little kind of belief and faith towards them, right? So we receive teaching from there, we believe into them, we have a faith. Then next one, the attainment of human body. We already have the important life. The human life is most important life. We already have the teachers are there. The teachings are available. You have a little kind of faith towards them. You already have the important human life. Right? Human life. If we don't practice the Dharma and may being fit to cultivate virtues are scared, when will they be born again? In the future life, in the future, can we have this kind of opportunity? Wherever we born, generally we can make a kind of make a assumption what happened, what will be look like after 50 years, after 100 years. Now you can see when you look at our human society, believing in religion is decreasing, right? Generally. When you look at history like Europe or in the West, you can say 100% Jewish or Christian. You look at the Asian side, everybody 100% believe in religion, different religion. Now look at this moment, when you look at the West, maybe less than half the people follow Christianity. The following also becoming decreasing. When you look at the East, also in the past we have different religion. We think about Buddhism, believing in Buddhism, following follower of Buddha teaching also decreasing. Maybe within 50 years, 100 years, maybe no more religion. Or maybe some religion can be exist, become very polluted kind of religion. So if we born again in human being in this world, look like it is impossible to have a excellent teacher, qualified teacher. So difficult. Yes, maybe there will be few teachers. The teaching is not available everywhere for everybody. Then most importantly, in a scary one for us, when you reflect on our daily action, we act more negatively. So for these logics, using these reasonings and logics, look like next life for us it is impossible to have this kind of good opportunity, right? Look like impossible. Now we got only one option. Me, almost 64 years old. 64 years already passed. I cannot use all the time anymore. It passes pass. Maybe I have about 20 years. After I died, I don't think I can have this kind of opportunity. Now I have only 20 years, right? I have only 20 years. Within the 20 years, whether you can be Bodhisattva or you go into the hell. We got only 20 to 30 years opportunity. So what we think, the past is past. I don't put a lot of hope for the future after my next life. I try my best. I practice Dharma as much as every day. practice Dharma as much, particularly practice bodhicitta every day as much as you can. Don't think about I will practice bodhicitta next life. It is impossible, look like very difficult to have this kind of opportunity. Therefore, you should not delay or the practice, particularly never ever compromise practicing bodhicitta. Think how many years you have? 20 to 30 years. But 20 to 30 years can be the best time for us, whether we go into the Buddhahood, go into the lower realms. Right? So everything is based on the logics. Therefore, faith, the attainment of the human body, and also I tell you, the truth story, what happened in Tibet. There was like a lama, monks. He was giving a teaching based on Lamrim. When he was giving teaching based on Lamrim, he was explaining, the human life is so rare. Very, have a best opportunity is very rare. There was another person just, attend the teaching. When the Lama was explaining, the human life is so rare to have. After teaching what he said, I don't think the Lama went to China. Compared with Tibetan, Chinese population is huge. Then he thought, born in human life, having a human life is not rare. Because right now, how many billion human beings we have? 7 or 8 billion. Big number, right? In Singapore, we have like 6 million. But how many lives you have today? Only one. No matter 6 billion, 100 billion, you have only one life. Right? You have only one life. So based on this, the concept, understanding, that you can feel, yes, for me, this is a very, very rare to have this life. But the important, the rare life we have is impermanent. Right? Impermanent. We have seen somebody was very, very in the morning, evening, the person has gone. Here I tell you a very kind of funny story, okay? Instead of kind of funny, one of my friends, when I met him, he said, "Oh, Geshe, I know you every day go for long walking. I want to join with you." He told me. I said, "Are you sure you can go with me?" He said, "Yeah, I can go." Then we have a early lunch at the Pongol water pond. Early lunch. He got little, like a water. I said, "It's not enough. You need to buy bigger, water bottle." Then he got the half-liter water. We walked from Pongol, Coney Island, reached to the Lorong Island. I knew he was so tired. I said, "I don't think you still can walk another like a 15 kilometer, another 10 kilometer. You better go back to Pongol." So he's leaving the Pongol. He leaves the Pongol. He said, "No. I can go. I want to go. I'm very strong." So he followed me like Lorong Hulu, then the Pasiri Beach, Pasiri Park, Pasiri MRT. I knew he was so tired. He said, "No, I'm okay. Then we have a kind of drink and snack. Then I came back to TBC, he went to home. Then I know he's not going to be very well. The next morning I call him, "Hey, how are you? Are you okay?" "I'm sick. I got fever." Fever and knee problem. Oh, like, right? So that means sometimes we think I'm very well, I'm healthy, I can live another like a few years. Because my friend in the morning he think I'm very healthy, I'm really strong. He can walk with me. Evening he was already sick because of the impermanent, right? Impermanent. Now stanza number 16, right? Yeah, 16. Although today I am healthy, well nourished and unfiltered, life is momentary and deceptive. The body is like an object online of but my mean. Yeah, therefore exactly. So although today I am healthy, well nourished and unfiltered, life is momentary and deceptive. What does mean? Yeah, we know life is momentary. Everything is changing momentarily. When you really think, how our life is changing, we feel something so scary. That means even though while you are resting, while you're on the bed, we are sleeping, our life is not really stopping, right? We are just moving towards where we going. At the end, where we going to reach cemetery, right? Where you are, we are really just moving towards collapse, but we don't know when we're going to be collapsed. Moving. Also, right now, it's like a morning. Then the whole our planets, this Earth, everything is moving, right? Moving. That means life is momentary. Everything around us is impermanent. Then what does mean deceit? Deceit. What does mean according to in this context? Life is momentary and deceptive. Deceptive means we thought I'm healthy. Actually, not healthy. We believe we're going to live another 10 years or 5 years. No guarantee. That means whatever we believe, actually we're deceiving ourselves. The body is like an object on the line for but a minute. Number 17. With the behavior such as this, I shall not win human body again. And if the human form is not attained, there will be solely wrongdoing and no virtues. Now you can see the step, all the standard step. That means we have the best opportunity, right moment, but we being so lazy. We delay our practice. Also, we hope, we pray, next life I can practice Dharma. There's no guarantee. Almost next life we won't have this kind of opportunity. And also we have the important life. It is impermanent. It can be lost anytime, any day. So now we realize, right? Life is impermanent. It's so difficult to attain the human life. Also so difficult to have the right condition to practice the pure Dharma. It's so rare. With behavior such as this, I shall not win a human body again. Because we being lazy, we don't practice Dharma, we always act negatively, therefore I shall not win human body again. And this human form is not attained. There will be solely wrongdoing, not virtues. Now, this one, what I have to imagine, even though we born again as a human being in the next life, it doesn't mean we're going to have always opportunity to practice the virtuous action. No, you can see many of our friends always like to do always like to engage into negative actions. Right? So related to this sentence, right? I shall not win human body again. So any of your friends, your children have a habit to do the fishing. Please advise, don't do the fishing. For me, I really can understand when they do the fishing for eating, catch the fish, kill the fish, eat for food. I can understand because some people doesn't have money to buy the fish. So most of the people who do the fishing, what they do, they say sport, right? They play with the fish. They catch the fish, how painful it is. The big kind of the needle go in the mouth. Then they take a photo. Then they do the measurement. They throw in the water. For a short time, the fish has a sense of so scary, lot of suffering. So we cannot change everybody, right? If you have any friends or your children doing kind of fishing, with the right time, please advise, don't do the fishing thing. I can see some of uh, does fishing for food. This one we can understand. Play with the fish is not really kind of sport. It's really harmful action. Although today I'm sorry, with a behavior such as this, I shall not win a human body again. How I can say you cannot win a human body again? I cannot say anything. You are right or wrong. I don't have the kind of power to say next life you cannot be born as a human. When you analyze yourself, right? When you analyze your action, every action, daily action, then you will understand. You're going to understand. For me, so difficult to have another human life in next time, right? So everything, right and wrong, easy or difficult, you have to think about. You have to think about based on your daily action. Wrongdoing, no virtues. Look at the uh, like a tiger, lion. Every day they have to kill because due to negative karma they took this kind of life. In order to survive, they have to kill, no choice. It doesn't mean they are not, not accumulating negative karma. Each time when they kill, when they harm, surely, the lion, the tiger, all this accumulating negative karma. Even though the people who own the, like a fish farm, cow farm, right? Every moment when they sell, 10, 20 kilo fish, pig, cow, also accumulate negative karma. We should not think because they don't have a choice. Solid wrongdoing, not virtues. Understand? Number 18, please read. If when I have the chance to live a wholesome life, my actions are not wholesome, then what shall I be able to do when confused by the misery of this Lord realms? Number 18. Yeah. Yes, right now everybody have, right? We have the chance to live a wholesome life. Wholesome life. My actions are not wholesome. Then what shall I be able to do when the confused by the misery of the lower realms? Even though this lifetime we are human being, we have a good knowledge. We know which is good, which is bad. Also, we have a really best opportunity to live the wholesome life. We have the opportunity, but our action what? Our action are not wholesome. Then again here what we think, many of people think, oh no, I always, I'm not harming anybody. We believe us, I'm not harming anybody. I always practice, dharma. I always do the good action. Right? You are doing prostration, you are making, you're offering mandala, you're offering light, incense. Right? We thought I'm always doing the wholesome action. My action is always wholesome. Not 100% sure. I said in the past many times. I again repeat, again today. So many of you do your daily sadhana as a commitment, right? You do it. Some of you need to do every day sadhana. Yamantaka sadhana, Buasama, Avanam, you have a commitment. Morning, you are so busy. Afternoon, you are busy. Then maybe 6, 7, 8 p.m. you feel so tired. Now it's time to go bedtime. Then what you have to think? Ayo, I have to do the sadhana. I feel so tired. Mm. You're just reading the sadhana. No bodhicitta, no good motivation. You have to do, right? Do you think you are practicing dharma at that moment? No, right? You said, I have to do because I already have a commitment. Then when you offer a light, make it offer incense. Before we buy the candle light, before we buy incense, at the moment we have a sense of stingy. Oh, how come the candle light is $2? How come $5? So expensive, right? You throw each other, so expensive. When you buying, you don't have pure motivation. You buy the things with a sense of stingy. Then when you offer the light, you're not focusing the light offering. You're not visualizing the Buddha. You're not really doing the proper practice. You're looking around through the light. You just leave the light. Then you come out from the temple. Then you believe, oh, I did a good job. I do the wholesome action. Do you think the action is very wholesome? No, it's a very incomplete. Right? Therefore, we have the chance to live a wholesome life. My actions are not wholesome. Then what shall I be able to do when I confused by the misery of the lower realms? Then due to the whatever cause born in the lower realms, there's no chance. All action can be very unwholesome. Particularly when you are born in the lower realm, you have all kinds of suffering. Then you are totally living in the confusion state. Right? Therefore, make sure every day you use the chance to live in the wholesome life, do the wholesome action. Please read Numbers 19. Yeah, correct. Right? If I commit no wholesome deeds there, but readily makes much wrongdoing. Therefore, the hundreds millions of eons, I shall not even hear the word, happy life. Happy life. Is generally we are talking about the human life is such as kind of happy kind of realms, but due to our own action, no matter the action because of the leader, because of the population, somehow you can see the whole world is moving towards very unhappy kind of state. Whole world is moving towards where? More suffering. After maybe 100 years, maybe after 50 years, there won't be such as kind of happiness. This country fighting with other countries, other fighting country fighting other country. The whole world going to go through serious wars. Millions of people going to lose their life. Then we say natural disaster. Actually, all the disaster, not the natural, is due to our own action. Right? Even though being a human, born as a human being, within after 50 or 60 years, there are no such as kind of say happy life. Particularly when we born into lower realms, like hungry being, become a hungry being, that there are no such as, we cannot really hear the word happy life. Yes, it's not easy to kind of happy life, like particularly, all of we are living in Singapore. Particularly as a Singaporean, you live in Singapore, you can see every day the life is become so narrow. Life is so become so difficult, right? So difficult. We really don't know what kind of life we have after 10 years, 15 years. We really don't know. Then what should we do? We know when you think about what happened, what kind of life we have, next 5, 10 years. We know actually it's more kind of more problem, more suffering. Like your opportunity think more narrow. Then what I shall do right now? What shall we do today? Shall we, commit suicide? No, we have to do the right preparation. Physically healthy, mentally healthy, right? So Dharma, now you can say the Buddha teaching is a teaching about how to have a healthy mind. When your mind become healthy, physically you become very healthy. How we can have a healthy mind? Therefore, we have a three kinds of mind: positive mind, negative minds, the neutral mind. Right? No need to study. We can feel. Sometimes mind arises, neither we feel happiness nor suffering, just neutral. Sudden mind arises like anger, hatred, jealousy. We feel initially, lot of emotional suffering. So we slowly we control the negative thoughts, control, suppress, control, and generate the positive thoughts, more positive thoughts. Increase the positive thoughts. When you are able to increase your positive thoughts, able to totally suppress or control, or you slowly reducing, then we can live 100% sure we can live happily anywhere. That time our happiness is not depends on the food, not depends on the environment, not depends on your friends, depends on your inner happiness. Right? You can live happy life with a simple food. You can eat a one-time meals. These days many people like to eat brunch, right? Breakfast, lunch together. In the future, maybe you can have only one meal. Still, with a one meal, you can live happy life. Even though everybody, having all kinds of sufferings or problems, still you have your own happy life. This happy life, you can have a happy life or life with the suffering. It depends on whom? Depends on you. Depends you. Therefore, the Buddha teaching, the teaching of this is mainly teach us how we can have a healthy mind, how we can suppress, control, eliminate the negative thoughts. In order to increase, positive thoughts, decrease the negative thought, it doesn't cost anything. You no need to buy, it doesn't cost anything, right? You no need to pay any single dollar. Just sit somewhere, without paying anything, you just sit quietly somewhere. You cultivate great compassion, bodhicitta, tolerance, patience, increase. When anger arises, suppress, decrease. Jealousy arises, decrease. Make sure at the beginning, the anxiety and depression, not let them arise. Somehow you feel I'm having some kind of depression, anxiety, immediately, 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 very quickly you need to control the depression, anxiety, right? If we already have quite amount of anxiety and depression, it's so difficult to thought positively. So difficult to have the positive minds. Therefore, what I'm saying here, so If you practice Dharma, you really fully understood how to practice Dharma in your daily life. You can live happy life. You can have happy life any situations, any situation. I give you one example. For example, when the Tibetan people, when they left Tibet, reached to India, you can imagine, Tibetan people live in the high altitude, weather is so cooling. When they next, within the 1 week they reach to India, weather is so hot, big difference. They'll eat, very organic food in Tibet. Suddenly came to India, you need to eat rice and dal, you can imagine. They really don't know what to do, where they are, how they can survive. They have this kind of, difficult time. But that moment, none of the Tibetan, even though like 60-year-old, 70 years old, none of them commit suicide because of the Dharma. Dharma. Because of the positive thoughts. This is example I'm telling you. We can survive well. We can live happily with any condition. Therefore, we have to prepare since today. I can live with the simple food. I can live any circumstances. I can live any difficulty, situation. So, in order to have this kind of thing, it doesn't cost anything, but you have to, practice. Scenario number 20. For this every reason, the Buddha has said the difficult it is for the instance into the yoke live upon the vast ocean. It is most difficult to attain the human state. That is the example what Buddha said in that many teaching. Buddha said it is so rare, so difficult to have, the fortunate life like a human being. The difficult for those every reason Buddha has said that's the difficult as it is for the turtle to insert the neck into the yoke, difficult upon the vast ocean. Right there, this analogy. There's a blind turtle. He just, is going around the ocean. Yearly, his neck come out from the ocean once a year. Otherwise, he just diving or going under the ocean. Example, right? Then yearly, his neck come out only once a year. But the yoke in the ring is just going everywhere ocean. Do you think that one day the turtle can insert his neck on the yoke? It's possible, right? It is possible. It's possible, but not easy. Right? Is it possible? Not easy at all. Right? Like in Singapore, we have a yearly, the New Year, what do you call the one? Jackpot. New Year call, what call? Right? How many million people bought the ticket? Can you say ticket? How many million people bought the cup? How many people win the lottery one? It is possible you can win, but so difficult. Likewise, having this kind of humility is so difficult. 21. If even by the transgression of the one instant an aeon of may be spent the deepest hell, then because of the transgression I have gathered since beginning that time, one need to mention men not going to happy realms. But there's all this explanation what he's saying, I make just conclusion. So simply we have this kind of opportunity, right, to able to listen the teaching, not listening teaching. We have the one of the opportunity to study about Bodhicitta. Not only study, we have the opportunity to cultivate bodhicitta, not just cultivation, we have the opportunity to grow the bodhicitta within our mind. So in order to practice continuously this bodhicitta, so make sure the next life we won't born into lower realms. If we born into lower realms, we're not going to have this opportunity against and against. Because the human life is so difficult to achieve, so rare, but very easy to lose. Therefore, since we have generated bodhicitta, every day, every moment, we must watch our daily action. We always try to act, positively. We must have a wholesome action. But when we compare our own action, the positive and negative, we realize we have a more negative action than the positive. So we need to suppress, we need to eliminate all the negative karma. In order to eliminate all the negative karma, the best antidote is we practice bodhicitta. Right? And also every moment we need to watch our mind, make sure the anger is not arising. When the anger arising, the anger, going to harm other. When you get angry, right? When you get angry, there's a different people has a kind of different habits. Generally, when somebody get very angry, they just acting themselves, right? Not really taking any action, right? They just be unhappy themselves. Just stay in the corner in the room, just lock the door, close the door, just sit quietly. It's still okay. If the angers increase more strongly, and the person cannot just lock in the room, the person definitely will get out from the room, they harm others. Right? Once you harm others, at that moment you don't have any more compassion toward the person. That means you already ruined the foundation of the bodhicitta. Right? Bodhicitta. Therefore, every moment we need to watch our mind, make sure you're not going to get angry with anybody. Do you think it is easy? Not at all, right? And most difficulty we can have, you always try to be nice with everybody. You always say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." Every time you try to be nice with other, you always be compassionate. You always being nice with other. You're not doing any kind of harming thing other. But many people try to harm you. Then you go to lose your temper. Then you get angry. Then since you cannot really, practice compassion, right? This happens. Therefore, every moment when you watch your mind, when you're going to realize, oh, I'm going to get angry. My anger is arising. First moment we need to know. Then we should not let it arise continuously. Immediately remember the Buddha teaching, particularly remember the compassion, practice or generate compassion towards the enemy. Right? Enemy. If the anger let arise continuously, then one day you cannot control the anger. So therefore we have to watch our mind. So if we don't be very careful, even with the instant negative action, spend in the deepest hell for many eons. But because of the transgression I have gathered since beginning last time, one need to mention may not going to have a happy realms. So when we compare these two, yes, we have a lot negative karma than the positive. Therefore, we have a kind of little bit dangerous. We're going to born into lower realms. But we no need to worry, practice bodhicitta. Next one, 22. Yes, have experienced merely the rebirth in the hell. I shall still not be liberated. For while it is being experienced, other wrongdoing will experience it to do. I think this one is almost very much same. Now I thought this one. Yeah, now we just jump onto the page number 27. Sorry, stanza number 27. Stanza number 27. Please read 27. Me is exactly, we all like a kind of have noticed by the spill. Then, as though I were hypnotized by the spill, I shall reduce this mind to nothing. Exactly. The people who don't believe in religion, if they act very nonsense way, they act negative way, we can understand. I can understand. You can understand. Because the person doesn't have a religion, he doesn't care, the positive action, negative action, right? But the person who believe in religion, I'm not saying believe in Buddhism, the person who believe in religion, who accepted the religion, if they act lot negatively, acting lot of negative, taking lot of negative action, we don't not going to understand. Particularly, we as a Buddhist, we believe in religion, we believe in Buddha teaching, particularly we believe in the Mahayana teaching. Not only believing, we study quite a long time, right? Quite a long time. But if we act, kind of negatively, that means our mind is totally kind of hypnotized by like a spill. I shall reduce this mind to nothing. Look like you don't have a mind, you don't have a kind of understanding. Because you study bodhicitta, you study great compassion, you harm other. How come? Right? You believe in the positive karma bring positive result, negative karma bring negative result, but you act nonsensely. How is come? Look like you study dharma, when you come to the practice, you are totally against the teaching. That means you don't have a look like you don't have a mind. Reduce this mind to nothing. Even I do not know what is causing me confusion. But we really don't know what's going, what's wrong with me. But you can think about it. Because I study Dharma, but I cannot act positively. I study Bodhicitta, I cannot practice Bodhicitta. Instead of practice Bodhicitta, I'm harming others. That means look like we ourselves are totally confused. Therefore, we have to be very clear cut. Have to be very clear cut. We have to be very practical Buddhist. Everybody has a rights, whether you follow Dharma or not, whether you follow Buddhism or not, follow Mahayana or not. It's up to you, right? Since you accept Buddhism, since you follow the Mayan teaching, we must act according to Mayan teaching. We follow Mayan teaching, we act all the actions against the Mayan teaching mean we are totally confused. We live in the confusion state. Therefore, what he said, even I do not know what is causing me confusion. What is the dwelling inside me? So why we have this problem? Because inside we have a 3,000 mind. The next one, 28. Enemies such as hatred and craving have neither any arms nor legs. neither crush nor wise. How have I, like slave, been used by them? Now is the point here, right? So yes, we want to be happy. The happiness never come in our life. I don't want any disturbance. The disturbance always with us because of the three-thousand mind. Three-thousand mind. Therefore, what he has said, Shantideva said, all the enemies such as hatred, craving, have neither any arms nor legs. Anger, attachment, hatred, they doesn't have a head and arms and legs. Doesn't have, don't have. But neither courageous nor wise. How have I, like a slave, been used by them? Right? Until today, we became slave of the anger, hatred, attachment. Then why we are not happy? Because our anger is with us. Why we are not happy? Because attachment with us. With us, not only few days, not only in a few years, always with us since we were born, right? Since we were born. So we have to remember every day, oh, I have a problem. Of course, I have a problem because of my enemy is within me. You should not think I have a problem because of my neighbors, because my co-worker, because of my friends, because of my family. My thing, I'm not happy. I have a problem because of inside I have a 3,000 mind. These 3,000 minds are my enemy, not the people, not my neighbors, not my relatives. My anger, hatred are my enemy. So I'm always with my enemy. I'm always with the 3,000 mind. How I can be happy? I'm always with them. How I can be free from suffering? You need to remember this every day. Then what should I do? What should we do? Yes, I don't want suffering. I need to reduce my 3,000 mind. Correct? It's very logic, simple logic. If you go outside, if the weather, you feel so hot. You think about why I feel so hot. Because outside the weather is very hot. Then you think I don't want in the hotness. You are still keep walking in the sun. You keep walking in the sun. Do you think you can be free from the hotness? No, cannot. Likewise, when you feel I'm not happy, ask why I am not happy. Yes, there's some external condition here. The external factor are there. For example, for example, you feel hungry. Due to the hungriness, then slowly you get angry, upsetness. But the food just can be the cause. Not having food is the cause. The actual cause is your own emotion. Right? Actual cause is your own mind. Therefore, we should not think because I have a problem, because we should not, like a ping pong, we should not point it outside. Always point where? Where you could point? Inside. Me, particularly my 3,000 mind, particularly my ignorance. Because ignorance is the foundation. Then ignorance produces attachment. Ignorance, attachment together produce anger. Due to the ignorance, produce like a pride, jealousy, ego. Therefore, we must think I don't have a external enemy. My enemy is always with me, within myself, within me for 24 hours. While you are sleeping, the 3,000 man is there. While you are eating, the 3,000 man just looking, the opportunity how to arise. Just looking. That means you can see with a little trigger, we become very upset. That means, look like, somebody just watching you. You are walking very firmly, walking very carefully. Your enemy is behind you. When your mind is distracted from somewhere, the enemy just push you little bit push, you're going to, what happened, you're going to fall over. That means our mind, that 3% mind, just watching the opportunity, how I can become more strong, how I can arise, just looking the opportunity. So we never ever give them opportunity, never ever give a chance them to arise. Then what we have to do? We have to practice Dharma, right here. Neither courage. How I have I like a slave been used by them? Actually, we are using by anger, hatred, jealousy. So for example, how the desire uses us, how we became slave, of the desire. In Singapore, it's very common. I'm not criticizing you guys, okay? When somebody say, oh, let's say, like a Woodland is a bit far from here. Oh, Woodland, there's a very nice restaurant. It's very cheap, very nice, good food. Your desire arise, right? Arise. Then you have to go all the way. You are going because of the desire asks you to go. You are driving because the desire asks, go, go, go. There's good food. Therefore, we become kind of slave of anger. And anger again, attachment, right? Desire, attachment. How we become slave of anger? Anger arises. Anger saying, "Oh, this is your enemy. This is your enemy. You must fight. You must fight." Then anger say, "You fight." Then what we do? We fight. We fight. Then what happened after a few hours? After a few months, you feel regret. You feel regret. But you never realize because the anger asks you to fight. Right? So therefore we become actually a servant, we always serve the 3% mind. Therefore we become servant or slave of the negative thoughts, particularly ignorance, craving, attachment. How have I like a slave been used by them? That means the 3% minds like our enemy. When we control by the enemy, we never ever going to have a happy life. Next 29. For a while they dwell within my mind. At this pleasure they cause me harm. Yes, patiently endure them without any anger. This is inappropriate, the harmful term for the patience. Right? Exactly. For while they dwell within my mind, at their pleasure, they cause me harm, yet I patiently endure them without any anger. But this is inappropriate, the shameful term for the patience. That means now the anger, attachment are within our mind. And I'm not sure this one, I need to check the Tibetan. Sometimes the translation have some problem. Stanza number what? 29. 29. Yeah, that means the 3% mind is within myself, in my mind. They are very pleased to harm us. At their pleasure, they cause me harm, yet patiently endure them without any anger. That means, in our lifetime, do you ever feel angry with your anger? Have you ever feel you are angry with your attachment? Do you feel you are very unhappy with your attachment, anger? No, right? No. You always pointing outside. We never pointing say, oh, attachment, you are my enemy. All my problem because of you. All my suffering because of you. Right? We never, pointing our enemy. Therefore, yet patiently endure them without any anger. That means you can see how, we being stupid. Actual cause of suffering within us. We haven't realized until today. We realize, we believe all the suffering coming from where? Outside. Because of the weather, because of the food, because of my family, because of my friend. We are angry with the weather, angry with the friends and family. We are never angry with our, actual enemy. So we are very patient with our poison mind. But this is inappropriate, the shameful time for the patient. We thought I'm practicing patience. No, we are not practicing patience. If you practice patience, we should not be patient with our anger, attachment, ignorance. Stanza number 30, please read. In the pair of the disperse whole, right? Now it's again very, very important it was for us. Yeah. Should even all gods and the demigods raise up against me as my enemy, they could not lead or place me in the roaring fire of the deepest hell. Right? Even though all human beings become our enemy, my enemy, you say my enemy. No matter all human beings become your enemy, what they can do? Last one, they can, or at least just they can kill you. That's it. They can take away your belongings, they can do all the nonsense. The last, what they can do last, they can kill you. Right? But they cannot push you into the hell being. They cannot lead you to say, go in the hell. Cannot. Because it depends on you. That means here we're saying, even though all human beings become your enemy, those are not actually your enemy. They can harm you for the short time. They can harm you for the little bit. They cannot bring you into hell. But the anger, attachment, desire, they really lead you they harm you this life. Not only harming this life, they will lead you all the way to the hell being. So now, who is actually our enemy? The people, the weather, who? 3,000 mind. Right? Therefore, I'm not sure in the Sanskrit we say, like a Buddhist, right? Buddha, then Buddhist. Tibetan word, Buddhist we say Nangpa. Nangpa. Buddhist mean Nangpa. Mean looking, the person who always looking inward, not outward. Inward is Buddhist. If you believe yourself Buddhist, you watch inside. What's going inside? Therefore, all the external, the what we call the reaction, that external reactions come from where? Here. You use all the negative word. It come from where? Actually, from here. You have a fighting with your neighbors because of coming from here. Right? Because Nangpa means everything it coming from inside. Your happiness also coming from inside. Your suffering from inside. Then you think, how come Sometimes we have a problem because of the weather, because of the food, because of the neighbor. If you control your inner enemy, the weather not going to bother you. Your neighbor cannot bother you. Your relatives cannot make you suffering. Until you control your inner enemy, your life, we can say, we have a happy life. So as a Buddhist, right? As a Buddhist, I'm saying, I'm not sure, how many classes we have next few months. I'm saying, if you say I'm Buddhist, if you believe yourself I'm Buddhist, every time when you think, when you believe, when you say I'm Buddhist, you must think all the happiness is coming from inside. All the suffering actually is coming from inside.